What's up guys? Welcome back to Toon Duelists. In this video I'm going to show you my Blackwing deck profile. Finally! Why finally? Because way back we had a poll where you guys could choose which deck profiles I should be doing next, and Blackwing was the third option of this poll. Well, but between the last deck profile I did from this poll and this one is a lot of time because we had so many new sets, so many updated deck profiles I had to do. So yeah, excuse me for being late with this profile, but nonetheless I'm super excited to show it to you guys. Obviously, the Blackwings is one of the most iconic decks out of the 5Ds era, and also played by my favorite 5Ds anime character, which is of course Crow Hogan. Just the coolest in my opinion. Definitely let me know what's your favorite character down in the comments, by the way. And yeah, super fun deck. The designs are amazing. I love every Blackwing monster except Black Feather Dragon. Well, technically it's not a Blackwing monster, so doesn't really count. But I have to say, out of all dragons, I like him the least. But all the other Blackwing cards are just peak. Look amazing, I love everything about it. And yeah, super fun deck, also a powerful deck. You don't want to underestimate this deck. It even tops regionals from time to time. So yeah, really a cool deck. I'd consider it rogue, but yeah, still super fun and powerful deck to play. So I'm super excited to show it to you guys. If you haven't already, don't forget to like and subscribe. This would really help us a lot. And if you want the full experience, so I'm talking about the video with combos, test hands, and Nexus-Replays, don't forget to subscribe too, so you have the full experience right here, and it helps the channel a lot. And it's just one small click for you, of course. So guys, without further ado, let's dive right into it. Alright guys, as always, we start things off with the monsters, and the first one we talk about is Blackwing Simoon the Poison Wind. Amazing design, amazing card, and one of your, if not the best, combo starter right here. So a definite 3-off with the effect that if you control no monsters and have this card in your hand, you can banish another Blackwing monster from your hand and place a Black Whirlwind from your deck face up in your spell and trap zone. Then either send this card to the graveyard or immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon it without tributing. You cannot special summon for the extra deck for the rest of this turn except dark monsters, and you can only use this once per turn, and during the end phase you send the Black Whirlwind placed by this effect to the graveyard and take 1000 points of damage. This is just peak. It just sets up your whole field. It gives you an additional normal summon. Just peak card right here. Combo starter, definite 3-off right here. Next up, we also play 3 copies of Blackwing Sudri the Phantom Glimmer. Also very important card in your combo, and also can work as a starter, so definitely a 3-off, because when this card is normal summoned, you can add a card that mentions Blackwing Dragon from your deck to your hand except itself, so great searcher right here. You can also tribute a monster to special summon a Phantom Glimmer token, Winged Beast, Tuner, Dark, level 2 with 700 attack and defense, and then you take 700 points of damage. You're also locked out of your extra deck. For the rest of this turn, you activate this effect except for Synchro Monster. This can be a problem, and actually the token effect is not that important. It's the normal summon or search that we want. So yeah, definitely great card and definite 3-off, as well as the next one, and it's the last 3-off we run out of the Blackwing monsters, which is Blackwing Vata, the Emblem of Wandering. Amazing card right here, with a very powerful effect, because if you control a Blackwing monster other than itself, you can special summon this card from your hand, so easy special summonable right here. During your main phase, you can also send this card on the field to the graveyard along with 1 or more non-tuner Blackwing monsters from your deck, so that the total levels sent equal exactly 8, and if you do, special summon a Blackwing Dragon from your extra deck, and you're locked out of your extra deck except for dark monsters for the rest of this turn. Now this is just amazing graveyard setup right here. Brings out Blackwing Dragon, peak card right here. Definitely also a 3-off, because this card alone, even if you have to normal summon it, can cheat out a Blackwing Dragon and even go further from there on out. Next up, we have a lot of one-offs. We have, for example, Blackwing Shamal the Sandstorm. Also amazing card. I see profiles where they play 2 or more of this. I can't see why, but in the basic combo I'm showing you in the basic combo and test hand video, you only need one, and I have good experience with only running one. This card has the effect that you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard to place a Black Feather Whirlwind from your deck face up in your spell and trap zone. And if a Blackwing Synchro Monster or Blackwing Dragon is special summoned to your field while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish it to target a Blackwing monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand, then you take 700 points of damage. It searches your Black Feather Whirlwind, it itself is searchable with your Sudri, which is the reason I only run one, and also has a nice add back to your hand effect. Amazing card, but as I said, as a combo piece, I think one is definitely enough right here, as well as the next one, which is Blackwing Zephyros the Elite. Amazing card right here. Also one you want to send with your copy of Vata into the graveyard, because this one has the amazing effect that if this card is in your graveyard, you can return one face-up card you control to the hand and special summon this card, and if you do, you take 400 points of damage. Now this is especially great because if you bounce your Black Whirlwind, you can just activate it once again because it's just a soft once per turn, not a hard once per turn. So amazing card, extender, peak, but one is definitely enough. And the other one you want to send with your Vata is actually this one, and it's called Blackwing Harmattan the Dust. Amazing card you want to send and then add back with Shamal, because it has the effect that if you control a Blackwing monster other than itself, you can special summon it. And you can only special summon it once per turn this way, and when it is normal or special summoned, you can target a Blackwing monster you control and increase this card's level by that monster's. Now, the point is, it's just a free special summon right here. That's the whole point. And of course, 2, 4, and 2 again equals 8. So yeah, peak one. Send this one with your Vata, go into a Blackwing. Amazing graveyard setup right here. That's the reason you want to run those. Next up, we also run one copy of Blackwing Sharnga the Waning Moon. An amazing card right here that has the effect that if a monster with 2000 or more attack is on the field, you can just special summon this card. Also, you can, if you control a Blackwing Synchro Monster, banish this card from your graveyard as a quick effect and then target a face-up card your opponent controls and destroy it. Now, as a level 2 tuner, that easy special summonable, that's just the whole point. It's amazing. You don't necessarily need it in your basic combo, but it's never bad to have this in your hand. As I said, free extender basically. Next up, we also run one copy of Assault Blackwing Kunai the Drizzle. Also, pretty good card with the effect that you can special summon it by tributing a Blackwing monster, and if summoned this way, it is treated as a tuner, and once per turn you can target a synchro monster you control and declare level from 1 to 8, and it becomes that level until the end of this turn. Also a card you don't need in your basic combo, but definitely one you want to play in your deck, because with the level adjustment and its summoning condition, it can really help you out to fix your board. So yeah, one is enough. We have ways to search all of our Blackwings basically. So yeah, great card, but one is enough, as well as for the next one, which is Blackwing Zonda the Dusk. Also pretty decent card, with the effect that you can't special summon monsters from the extra deck except synchro monsters. You can only use one of the following effects of this card once per turn, and only once that turn. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can target a monster on the field and return it to the hand. And you can also banish this card from the graveyard to special summon a level 5 or higher Blackwing monster from your hand or deck, and then you take damage equal to its attack. Now, as you probably already figured out, we have a lot of ways to send Blackwing monsters from our deck to the graveyard, and this is just great to have in your graveyard to, for example, bring out your Kunai right here. So yeah, decent card, but one is definitely enough, as well as the next one, which is Blackwing Bora the Spear. A real classic. You can also see in the anime quite often actually. It has the effect that if you control a Blackwing monster other than Blackwing Bora the Spear, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if it attacks a defense position monster, you inflict piercing battle damage. You have cards where you want to summon a level 4 out of your deck, so this can be one of the targets, together with your Sudri of course, and also it's just never bad to have this in your hand, obviously a free extender, so yeah. Decent card, but one is enough, you don't need it in your basic combo. And the last Blackwing monster we run is Blackwing Chinook the Snow Blast. Also an amazing card with the effect that you can send it from your hand or field to the graveyard to target face a monster your opponent controls, then send a Blackwing Synchro Monster or Blackwing Dragon from your extra deck to the graveyard, and if you do, until the end of this turn, the targeted monster loses 700 attack, also negate its effects. And this is a quick effect if you control a Dark Synchro Monster. So kind of a hand trap right here, which is actually not that bad, but the most important thing is it's another level 2 you can send with Vata if you happen to draw into your Harmattan or your other level 2s. So yeah, that's just the basic reason it's here. But yeah, not too bad, definitely right here. Then we run one copy of Garbage Lord right here. Now this might be a little surprise. It has the effect that you can special summon it from your hand by paying 2000 life points, and it can be used as Xyz material from an Xyz summon except for the Xyz summon of a dark monster. Now, we wouldn't use it for this. If at all, we would use it as a synchro material, but it's basically also just a great bridge for our small world. Of course, we run small world right here. So yeah, just a good bridge, and that's basically the reason it's here. And the rest of the monsters are all non-engine. You can of course choose what you want to play. In this scenario, I have Droll and Lockbird right here. Great card in my opinion. Then I also play Nibiru, the Primal Being. I just love to play those two in the rogue decks because of course those alone can shut off your opponent's turn on their own. And then we also run 3 Ash Blossom right here. Of course you can just replace this with any non-engine you'd like. Fuva of course is also always great. I would definitely recommend running Impulse if you have it. I don't, so yeah. But guys, that's it for the monsters. For the spells, we start things off with the already mentioned 3 copies of Small World. Now, obviously, you want to draw or you want to start your turn with your Simoon. And this card just helps you to get to it. If you don't know what Small World does, its effect is that you reveal a monster in your hand and choose a monster from a deck that has exactly one of the same type, attribute, level, attack, or defense, and banish the revealed monster from your hand face down. Then add from your deck to your hand one monster that has exactly one of the same type, attribute, level, attack, or defense as the chosen monster from your deck, and banish the card chosen from the deck face down. So you get rid of one card in your hand, one card from your deck, and then you add one of your Blackwings you like. So yeah, Small World in this deck is really, really powerful. Amazing card and definitely a 3-off, even though Small World always gives me a little bit of a headache. Then we also run 2 copies of Black Whirlwind. This card is so broken. This card is definitely one of the best, if not the best card in the Blackwing deck. It has a simple effect that when a Blackwing monster is normal summoned to your field, you can add a Blackwing monster from a deck to your hand with less attack than that monster. No once per turn, no nothing. This card is just amazing. If you set it with your Simoon, you have a search, then you normal summon Sudri and have another search. It's just amazing card right here. In the basic combo, you search it with Simoon, but in other scenarios, you want to be happy to have it in your hand. But yeah, you want to search it on the other hand, so I've decided to go with 2. Works pretty good for me. Then we also run 1 copy of Black Feather Whirlwind. Also amazing permanent spell right here with the effect that once per turn, if you special summon a Dark Synchro monster from the extra deck, you can target one of your Blackwing monster or Blackwing dragon that is banished on your graveyard with less attack than that special summon monster and special summon it. Also, once per turn, if a dark monster you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can remove 1 Black Feather counter from your field instead. Now, the second effect doesn't bother us, it's just the extending we want, and we can bounce this back with our Sephiroth and bring it back on the field. Amazing, but 1 is definitely enough. Then, cards you would not expect in a synchro-based deck, we run 1 copy of Rank Up Magic Skip Force. Amazing card right here, gives you a glimpse into the extra deck and has the effect that you target a Raid Raptor Xyz monster and special summon from your extra deck a Raid Raptor monster that is 2 ranks higher than their target by using that target as the material, and the material of this other monster is transferred, of course. Also, during your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card and 1 Raid Raptor monster from the graveyard to target a Raid Raptor Xyz monster in the graveyard and special summon it. Second effect doesn't really come up that often. It is nice though in the grind game, but yeah. Just rank up spell you need it for your combo and your luck, as well as the next one, which is the Phantom's Night Rank Up Magic Launch. Amazing quick play spell. This is very important actually. With the effect that during the main phase you can target a Dark Xyz monster you control with no Xyz materials and special summon from your extra deck 1 Dark Xyz monster, that is 1 rank higher than the monster you control by using it as Xyz material, and if you do, attach its materials to this card. Also, during your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard and target a Dark Xyz monster you control and attach 1 Phantom Knight monster from your hand to that monster as material. The second effect obviously doesn't come up, we don't run any Phantom Knights monsters, but yeah, we just need it for our Kali Yuga lock, and then we round things up with 1 Triple Tactics Talent and with 1 Pot of Prosperity. The extra deck obviously is tight, but you have 3 that you can definitely get rid of for Prosperity. Just let me tell you that, and Talent is obviously great. And yeah, guys, that's it for the spells. For the traps, we make it quick right here. We run 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, of course. If you have access to Dominus Impulse, definitely play this one, amazing in this deck. And yeah, guys, that's it for the main deck. For the extra deck, we start things off with the Blackwing Synchro Monsters right here, and the first one we play is Blackwing Borea Storm, the Wicked Wind. Amazing card right here. Level 6 Synchro Monster with the effect that if this card is Synchro Summoned, you can send a Blackwing monster from your deck to the graveyard, and if you do, this card's level becomes the same as that monster's. And when this card destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can banish a Blackwing monster from the graveyard or face-up field except the destroyed monster and special summon the destroyed monster to your field in defense position. The second effect obviously doesn't come up, it's just very good for a Blackwinged Assault Dragon obviously and graveyard setup, so yeah. Very, very good card right here, but one is obviously enough, as well as the next one, which is Blackwing Nothung the Starlight. Also, very, very good card with the effect that if it is special summoned, you inflict 800 damage to your opponent to target a face-up monster your opponent controls, and it loses 800 attack and defense. You can only use this effect once per turn, and during your main phase, you can normal summon a Blackwing monster in addition to your normal summon or set. So depending on your hand, this might be a better choice for your level 6 summon right here. And next up, we also, of course, run the Sinus Dragon, one of the 5Ds. We run one Black-Winged Dragon. Now, even though the design in the anime is not that great, the card design is not too bad actually. Now this one has the effect that if you would take damage from a card effect, you place a black feather counter on this card instead, and this actually comes up a lot. We bring it out early in the combo, so this one can definitely take some of the damage we would receive because of our own card effects actually. This card loses 700 attack for each black feather counter on it, and once per turn, you can remove all black feather counters from this card to target a face-up monster your opponent controls, and that target loses 700 attack for each black feather counter removed, and if it does, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack lost by this effect. Decent card, but basically we use it to tank damage. The other effect is not that important. Next up, let's talk about the level 10 monsters. We run one copy of Blackwing Full Armor Master. Amazing card right here. In a former build, this was my main boss monster actually, because it has the effect that it is unaffected by other cards' effects, and in the other build I was able to make it unbeatable by battle, so you basically have an almost unbeatable monster right here. But anyways, each time an opponent's monster activates this effect, you place a wedge counter on that opponent's monster when that effect resolves, and once per turn you can target a monster your opponent controls with a wedge counter and take control of it, and also once per turn during your end phase you can destroy all monsters on the field that have a wedge counter. Amazing card right here, especially in the grind game or for specific scenarios. It is really, really great. Next up, we run two copies actually of Blackwinged Assault Dragon. Amazing card design. In this design, I actually like Blackwinged Dragon. Yeah, I know it's hard to believe. This one has the effect that it must either be synchro summoned or special summoned from your extra deck by banishing a Toon, a synchro monster, and one Blackwinged Dragon from your face-up field and or graveyard. And each time your opponent activates a monster effect, you place a black feather counter on this card when that effect resolves, and if you do, inflict 700 damage to your opponent. And also during your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can tribute this card with 4 or more black feather counters on it and destroy all cards on the field. With your Kali Yuga lock, which you want to perform, this is not that useful because of course the damage won't be taken and the whole effect doesn't resolve at all. But outside of that, if you can bring out 2 of those, 1,400 points of damage for each monster effect is crazy, and the potential board wipe is also pretty damn amazing, so I'd recommend running 2, because if your lock is not happening for whatever reason, this is just an amazing card right here. And for the last level 10 we run, we also run one Bestial Dispater. Now this one is, it has become a staple in a lot of synchro decks, so I guess you know what it does, so I don't bother explaining it, but great card right here. Yeah, definitely worth running. A Dark Dragon, so no problem at all. Next up we talk about the Xyz lineup, and we start off with Raiders Knight right here. I love the design of those Phantom Knights Raiders cards. Now this one has the effect that you can attach a material from this card to special summon from your extra deck a Phantom Knights, Raid Raptor or Xyz Dragon Xyz monster that is 1 rank higher or lower than this card by using this card as material but destroying during your opponent's next end phase. You transfer materials, of course. And what do you want to bring out with this effect? Of course, your Raid Raptor Brave Strix. Also amazing card with the effect that a Raid Raptor Xyz monster that has this card as material gains the effect that it gains attack equal to its rank times 100. Now, this also has the effect that you can attach a material from this card to set a Raid Raptor spell or trap from your deck. Not that important, but if this card has a Winged Beast monster as material, you can detach a material from this card to add a rank up magic spell from your deck to your hand. And this is the powerful effect we want to use. And then we want to rank up into the next Raid Raptor, which is Raid Raptor Arsenal Falcon right here. Love the design of this one, just looks great and has the effect that once per turn you can attach a material from this card to special summon a level 4 Winged Beast monster from your deck. If this card has any number of Raid Raptor monsters as material, it can attack up to that many times during each battle phase. And if this card is sent to the graveyard while it has a Raid Raptor monster as material, you can special summon a Raid Raptor Xyz monster from your exo deck except itself, and if you do, attach this card from your graveyard to it as material. Now both effects important, extending for your Link 3, which I'm about to show you, and also bringing out the next monster on our list, which is Raid Raptor Ultimate Falcon. Amazing design, amazing powerhouse right here, which has the effect that it is unaffected by other cards' effects, and also you can detach a material from this card, and for the rest of this turn all monsters your opponent controls lose 1000 attack. Also your opponent's cards and effects cannot be activated. So amazing card right here. It's basically just a big powerhouse. It also has the effect that once per turn during the end phase, you can make all monsters your opponent controls lose 1000 attack. And if your opponent controls no face-up monsters, inflict 1000 damage to your opponent. So, just a big powerhouse, unaffected on top. Yeah, just a great card right here. And of course, we also need our Arsenal Falcon to rank it up into our personal Calamity log, which is DDD Duo Dawn King Kali Yuga. Amazing card right here. The effect is so powerful because after this card is Xyz summoned for the rest of this turn, other cards and their effects cannot be activated on the field and other cards' effects on the field are negated. Now obviously it is just on field, but just negating everything that happens on the field is huge. Like of course they have still ways to play, effects in hand, effects in graveyard and stuff like that, but it's just a huge log and basically a turn skip for your opponent. Also it has the effect that once per turn during either player's turn you can attach a material from this card to destroy all spell and trap cards on the field. This is all we need to know. So it's also a Feather Duster or Heavy Storm basically, and yeah, turn skip. This card is amazing right here. If you can set this up first turn, it's basically a free win. Then we come to a very small link package. We run one copy of Raid Raptor Wise Sticks. It's also just part of our whole Kali Yuga setup right here. Needs 2 Darkwing Beast monsters, easy for Blackwing of course. And if this card is link summoned, you can special summon a level 4 Darkwing Beast monster from your deck in defense position but negate its effects, and it can be used as link material, which is amazing because we want to go into our Raiders Night and just bring out a level 4, any level 4 Blackwing basically from our deck is amazing for that purpose. Also, if your Raid Raptor Xyz monster's effect is activated, you set up a rank up magic spell directly from your deck, and if it's a quick play spell, it can be activated this turn. So this just sets up one of our rank up spells. Amazing card right here. Very important combo piece obviously. And the link 3 I was talking about when we talked about our Arsenal Falcon is obviously our Darkness Metal, the Dragon of Dark Steel. Amazing design right here. And this one has the effect that you can target one of your monsters that is banished or in your graveyard and special summon it to your zone this card points to in defense position, but its effects are negated. Also, you can special summon link monsters for the rest of this turn, and the summoned monster is placed on the bottom of the deck when it leaves the field. This may not seem like a big thing, but what you want to do is, once you brought out Wise Sticks and your Raiders Night and you went into Brave Sticks, you go into your Dark Dragon of Steel, you bring back Arsenal Falcon, and with Arsenal Falcon you go into Kali Yuga. So that's why this card is so important in this combo right here. It's also a Dark Dragon, so it fits the description. And the final extra deck monster we run is pretty basic, one copy of SP Little Knight. Now, one thing I want to mention with the extra deck real quick is we run Pot of Prosperity. So what are targets for Pot of Prosperity? Obviously, you can get rid of anything down here. It's part of your Kali Yuga line. If you're going second, you might not want to go down this road. So then you can basically put all of them away. That's the great thing. If you want to, you can get rid of one Assault, one SP, and either Nothung or Borea Storm. I would go with Nothung actually. And yeah, those would be my recommendations for Prosperity. And yeah, guys, that's it for the extra deck. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, definitely leave a like and a subscription. This would really help us a lot. It's just one small click for you, but means the world to us. Then of course, if you want to see how the combos with this deck really work, don't forget to check out the basic combo and test hand video. And if you want to see how this deck really performs, don't forget to check out the Nexus-Replays as well. And yeah, guys, I'd say until next time, have a good one.